All right, let's talk about what went wrong with Jordan Love here against the Cleveland Browns. This is the game that the Packers were favored by 8.5 points heading into it. Ultimately, they walk away with a loss, only put up 10 points of their own. Let's get into it and what went wrong here. So first, I think an aspect, and this is something I talked about when I made my week one film study on the Browns defense playing against Joe Burrow, is the Browns defense is really underrated. Like, you saw a lot of this stuff. 3rd down and 7, zone coverage, receiver, you see the route Love wants to look towards. Watch as, this is just going to be really well covered. And, to have everything further down the field covered as well, there isn't a lot available. When you cover well, good things happen, and they're covering well right here. So Love doesn't want to throw it down the field. He's going to do the smart thing. Let's try and throw a check down. Maybe my great running back can make a move or two, and we can pick up the first down that way. But here there's also pressure. He throws off balance, ends up incomplete. Wasn't going to be a completion. It wasn't going to be a first down either way, though. The Browns were all over that, and they get off the field. Browns defense, very good. It's done really well against Joe Burrow. It did well up into a point against the Ravens. Eventually, the Ravens broke through and had a great end of that game. And even a play like this, so it's a 3rd down and 9. This is one of those great Matt LaFleur plays where it's going up against man coverage right here, and they have a man in motion, the Packers do, going from the offense's right to the offense's left, and that's the route you see on your screen. It's Dontavian Wicks that's running this route. But watch as Denzel Ward is the corner who's following him, and he gets all the way over and is able to knock that football away. Again, that's a quick throw. They're trying to make the play work. It's a good concept, and it's better defense. And you know what? Sometimes that just happens. So that was definitely a huge chunk of it was coverage down the field. Of course, that's not the only thing the Browns defense does well. Heading over here, this is going to be a 2nd down and 10 situation. And I'm not talking about the play concept because we're going to talk about pressure here. You see how, so the Browns have an interior defensive lineman who's going to be able to generate pressure pretty quickly on this play. So now this is something that and this is Mason Graham, the 5th overall pick for the Browns. He's getting in the face of Jordan Love. So, okay, Love has to navigate that. Watch him step around one guy and then misses the second. Alex Wright clobbers Jordan Love. Again, the Browns rush the passer really well. And when there's not a lot of places to go with the football and they're getting to you quickly, it's not a fun time to be a quarterback in that situation. This one was another one on 3rd and 6, and you see how pressure just comes from so many different places, right? What do you do if you're a quarterback? Where do you go? You have to just get rid of the football there, which, okay, maybe he could have gotten rid of the football, but that's not his game, right? When a play breaks down, he tries to make something happen, and resulted in some sacks in this one. Now, it was not all bad. They do have 3 points on the board. They would get 7. We can talk about that 7. First, good screen pass here to Josh Jacobs. Watch as Love's going to take the snap, quickly flips this one over to Josh Jacobs. So, okay, good stuff here. You see that there is a Browns defensive player who's racing after Jacobs, seeing if he can try and, make a tackle. But watch just the speed of Jacobs. I'm not even sure if he saw that defender. I think he was just going so fast it didn't matter. Josh Jacobs still really good at football and showing it on that play. So you had that, which was nice. And also this one, we saw some of those classic Jordan Love plays, and that complimentary. This play is a cover 2 zone where, 3rd down and 7. They definitely want to get more than just 3 here. When it begins, you're going to see it's Dontavian Wicks' route over the middle. But again, is this going to work, right? Kind of you can see where the soft spot in the zone is, but the Browns are purposely playing a little bit further back. But watch how Love makes this throw. Watch it get there so quickly and over the middle. Wicks is able to make the grab, nearly gets a touchdown on that play. Really, just tight window throw. Again, that would have been a completion even if he didn't make it perfect, but no way would it have been a first down. So really good stuff there by Jordan Love. I also really like the touchdown on 3rd and goal. Again, you don't want to just be up 6 here. You want to see if you can get into the end zone. Going to be a designed rollout for the Packers. Love takes a snap, but once again, the Browns defense doing what they do, right? Not a lot open. But here's what Love notices is that he has a tight end who is saying, hey, give me the ball. I'm about to get open. No one's paying attention to him because he was blocking earlier. As you see, Love notices this, eventually flips it to this John Fitzpatrick who makes the play. Again, just to have the awareness to realize what's happening and get the ball over there, it's really impressive stuff. So there was some good. There absolutely was some good in this game. Unfortunately, there was some not so good. This play, talked about this a little bit, but this is an example of something you would look at as a play that could have, it was a big deal. I mean, it's 10-0 at this point. It's a 3rd down and 1 situation for the Green Bay Packers. Love's going to take the snap, and you're going to see he's going to do a good job at getting outside the pocket. Again, it's a big thing that Love is very good at and has been very good at over the course of his career. So far, so good here. This is just one of those things where it's 3rd and 1. Like, you're allowed to throw the football away on 3rd down. And I know that you never want to, but Tom Brady would throw the football away on 3rd down and 1, right? Drew Brees would do that. Peyton Manning, the top quarterbacks are guys who will be willing to do that at times. Love just holds on to this for too long and takes a hit. It's okay, you lose 8 yards. It's not the end of the world. But in a game like this where field position mattered, it did make it easier for the Browns to, get down the field and get in field goal range and get the 3 points. However, now we have to go over here because those 3 points are ultimately, who cares, right? That's not the that's not the end of the world. The Packers were up with 3 minutes and 18 seconds left, 3rd down and 3, up 7 points. You're in a great situation to try and just ice this football game. It's zone coverage, and you see how 3 routes are essentially the same to the Packers left. Well, why are you doing this? Well, essentially what you do is you isolate every route, right? Especially the middle of the 3. That's going to just be a pure one-on-one matchup because the other defenders in that area have to cover the player that goes into their zone, right? Like, as you see, in theory, that should be completely open, but it's not completely open. Why? You have that defender who is paying attention to this and is reading the play. Why is he reading this play? Because he sees where Jordan Love is looking. He's using the eyes of the quarterback. It's just staring down the receiver. To me, that's the biggest issue with this play. The decision on paper is kind of fine. This is the read on paper, but because you're staring down the receiver, this gives the defender an opportunity to jump this route. Especially because, just given the situation, he has help further towards the bottom of the screen, so he's okay in that situation. To make matters worse, the receiver and Love weren't on the same page. Love thought he was cutting more in. He goes further deep. I think that would have been picked either way, though. It's definitely picked, and allows for a return because of the miscommunication. And just like that, the Browns, get back in field goal range. They end up, punching it in that time, getting the 7 points to make it a 10-10 game. And while Love did do a nice thing again with some of those game manager stuff to get the ball back in the field goal range, and then it was missed, and then the Browns ended up winning the game. Nothing really his fault on that situation, but you don't make this mistake right here, and you don't have to worry about a potential missed field goal. Sure, a blocked field goal is kind of a fluky play, but you put yourself in position where you were one fluky play away from losing to a team that might only win 3 or 4 games this year. So, yeah, definitely an issue. Give credit to the Browns defense. Browns defense is very good, but yeah, some key mistakes here by the Packers, and that's ultimately why they lost. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.